Peace to the family, was goody. It's your boy back with another episode. I just want to say shout out to y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Jody Wins Show. I'm the one and only Jody Wins. Tonight we finna be talking about the games, NBA games that was popping tonight. It wasn't a lot of them, but it was a few. Had a little few bangers in the league tonight. We're gonna talk about yesterday's fight, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. That night was kind of epic and kind of disappointing. We're going to get into all that. College football was today. They was kind of cracking a few games. Got to see my boy Dion get another one. No DJ Khaled, another one. But we're going to get into the NBA. Let's start off with the NBA. We saw the Celtics go against the Raptors. That boy Jason Tatum hit a game-winning three. It was like 126 to 123. Tatum came up clutch with the game-winning three to win the game. I think Tatum had 23, 11, and 9. Boy almost had a triple-double. But they were just cooking. Like, I don't see nobody beating Boston this year on the East. Let me look at my notes real quick. Yeah, so my tablet died, so I had to write my notes down. But Tatum had 24, 11, and 9. He was out there cooking. Brown had 27, 6, and 7. Horford had 18, and Derrick White had 18 and 5. Celtics improved to 11 and 3. Like I said, I don't really see nobody beating Boston this year on the East. I see them coming out the East all the way to the finals. They got that revenge tour of mine. That's on their heart. The way they was treated in Team USA. USA had Tatum on the bench. You know, they didn't even ask Jaylen Brown to come to the team. And then they added another member from his team. So, yeah, I think Boston got a hit out on the league. For the Raptors, Podol, I think that's his name. He had 35 and 12. R.J. Barrett came up with a triple-double. He had 25, 10, and 15. The Raptors, they dropped to 2 and 12. I'm sleep on the Raptors. Like, bro, I don't see nothing coming from Toronto this year. They had as a country, Canada had a terrible year so far. You know what I mean? Kendrick, Body, and Drake. And then the team is just ass this year. I'm sleep on them niggas. I don't really see them do nothing probably for the decade. Like, I don't see nobody going to Toronto. Boston coming out the East. I don't really see nobody coming out the East to beat them. This is a cakewalk. They're going to have another easy cakewalk all the way to the finals, especially with Philly and Milwaukee being ass. You know what I mean? Everybody thought they was finna be nice, but them niggas is ass. New York still got to figure it out. They 6 and 6. Them niggas is 500. So, yeah, like, I don't really see nobody taking Boston out on the East. What else? The Hornets went against the Bucks. Hornets edged it out 115 to 114. Ball had 26, 9, and 6. Miles Bridges had 19 and 7. And Josh Green had 15, 5, and 5. The Hornets is now like 5 and 7. Hornets, I don't really see them doing nothing. This is cemetery over there. Them niggas is ass. But they got LaMelo Ball, who's a superstar. He can put asses in the seat, pause. So as long as they got him, I think they can still sell tickets. But as far as success, I don't see them niggas. You know what I mean? They ain't going to make the playoffs this year. You know, y'all don't really see them. Like, I think they need, even though he always hurt, I think Charlotte should try to get Zion and put Zion in LaMelo. That's a nice duo. If they can do that, I think they can add more fans to the arena, put more asses in the seat, pause, and I think that'll make him a better team, especially with Zion always being hurt. I think Zion just need he just need a new scenery. Like maybe being out there in New Orleans, that voodoo, maybe somebody put a hex out on that nigga because he cannot stay healthy, and I know LaMelo Ball cannot stay healthy. Put them together, they can have two unhealthy superstars to put asses in the seat. Pause. But the Bucks is fucking, atrocious. It's not looking like they're gonna have the season that everybody thought. They 4-9. Torian Prince led them with I ain't gonna say led them, but he was the highest scorer, 23-5. That nigga Giannis had 22 points, 15 rebounds, 12 assists. Bobby Portis had 21-7 off the bench. Lillard still ain't playing. Dame Time still ain't play. But I don't see. I think Giannis is out of there, bro. Like, I don't really see that. I think that nigga's unhappy with the situation. And, Greek Freak gone. I mean, he hooping. I'm not, what I mean? Don't get me wrong. That nigga's out there hooping, giving his effort. But for the nigga to have a triple-double, Bobby Portis have 21 off the bench, and you niggas still lose, yeah, I think it's time to blow them niggas up. Doc Rivers and Darvin Ham is not it. Like, they better off having me out that motherfucker. But the Bucks is, they underachieving. They gonna have to figure it out. They still got time, but I don't know. They're going to have to figure that shit out because shit is looking real wicked over there. The Lakers went against New Orleans. Lakers had 104. New Orleans had 99. That nigga AD, that nigga went from always disappearing to always dominating. My nigga had 31-14. He had 40 the other night. I think my top 3 MVPs in the racing, KD, AD, and Joker. Long as AD can stay hooping and stay consistent like he been doing, he got an opportunity to win his first MVP. That nigga's out there dominating. LeBron had 21, 7, and 5. The other day, LeBron became the oldest nigga to get 4 consecutive triple doubles. So that's what's up to the Bron. Connect had 27 and 7. I mean, that nigga's turning out to be nice. I think he everything that they thought Austin Reeves was. Austin Reeves is cool, but I think Connect is everything that they thought Austin Reeves was going to be. Lakers improved to 9-4. I think they won 5 games in a row. For New Orleans, that nigga Ingram had 32-8, and them niggas is 4-10. Zion still ain't playing. He hurt indefinitely, hamstring. I think Zion got to go. I think it's time to blow up the team. I think Ingram got to go somewhere else. Zion got to go somewhere else. Free that nigga CJ McCollum because that nigga be hooping. I think he deserve at least try to get a ring on a winning team. But yeah, it's a cemetery over there. Shit looking real wicked over there in New Orleans. They're going to have to figure that shit out. They looking like another playoff-less season. So, I don't really know. For the Lakers, they nice, they hooping. But I don't really think they going to make a deep run in the playoffs. I think for this past offseason, they ain't really do shit to get better. They added J.J. Redick, drafted Connect, drafted Bronny. It's more like a show. I think they having a show. Big ups to LeBron getting his son to the league. But that nigga is not enough. Like, I can see the Lakers being a play-in team. Even though they starting off cool, I can see them niggas being a playoff team. A play-in team. I know AD out there hooping, but it's the same shit every year. AD hoop for a little bit, and then the nigga start falling off, and then the nigga get hurt, and the nigga hurt his pinky toe, the nigga hurt his toenail, And then now he out for missing games. So I don't know. We gonna have to. I'm gonna have to see more. Don't get me wrong, the nigga is hooping, but I'm gonna have to see more. I'm gonna have to see where they at when they get close to like All-Star break. That's gonna determine how I feel about them. But as of right now, I'm not falling for the hype. AD, he hooping, but I'm not falling for the LA hype. Them niggas did not get better. That shit is a fucking circus show out there. The Mavs went against the Spurs. Mavs won 110-93. That nigga Kyrie had 22, 8, and 6. Luka had 16, 6, and 6. And Gaffer had 22 and 7. Mavs is 6 and 7. They went against the Spurs. Spurs had 93. Collins led the way with 20. Wemby didn't play. It's crazy that the Spurs are 6 and 8. They 2 games under 500. Wemby been out there cooking. I can see Wemby and the Spurs getting to the playoffs, like being a playoff team. Not a play-in team, but a playoff team. Hopefully they can keep the momentum, since Pop is gone. Shout out to Pop, get well soon. But since Pop is gone, that nigga Wemby been out there hooping freely, putting up shots. He playing more minutes. Yeah, I can see them being the playoff teams. Mavs, I can see them. I don't really see them getting to the finals this year. Last year they made it by luck. To me, that shit was luck. Just the matchups worked out in their favor. But they ain't never really been that good to me. I know they got Luka and Kyrie and they added Clay, but I don't see it. I don't see it. The Kings went against the Jazz. Kings won 121-117. Fox had 49 and 9. And this last game, he had 60. So that nigga Fox out there hooping, that nigga on a mission. I think Vlade Divac coming out in the offseason saying he think he made a mistake not drafting Luka because he already had Darren Fox. That put the battery in that nigga's back, pause. And now he out here on a mission to prove a point. That nigga Fox is hooping. Herter had 18 and 5, and Lyles had 17. For the Jazz, that nigga Marketing had 25 and 5. George had 19, and Sexton had 18. Utah ain't shit, you know what I mean? Like them niggas. I think Clarkson had 17 off the bench, but them niggas ain't shit. It's gonna be another dry ass season for Utah. They gonna be in the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. That nigga's gonna go there probably. He fit right in. For the Kings, Sabonis didn't play, but they gonna be in the playoffs. They always gonna be in the playoffs, especially if Darren Fox keep playing on this mission that he on. Them niggas is out there hooping, so gotta pay attention to them niggas. So now we finna get into yesterday's Netflix and chill night. We got to see Jake Paul going against Mike Tyson. The whole night was crazy. It was some good and a lot of bad. First off, Netflix should have been ready. They shit was fucking up. But I guess I had to expect it because that was their first live sporting event. But that shit could have been better, y'all. Y'all knew this shit was gonna be like this. But yeah, that shit was wild, bro. Like, so Jake Paul went against Tyson. Jake won by unanimous decision in the 8th round. To be honest, the shit was a joke. My nigga Mike Tyson had no business being out there. The fight was over halfway through the first round. My nigga Tyson stopped throwing punches. Once I seen that nigga in that knee brace, I was just like, what the fuck is this nigga doing out there? There's no reason that nigga should have been out there. That nigga should have been in bed. Once I seen that nigga getting punched and shit, I was just like, oh, nah, this shit is wild. And he looked like he was dragging his legs. Nigga was out there stumbling. That's not the Iron Mike that we know. Motherfuckers was really out here betting on Tyson like Tyson had a chance. I was telling everybody Jake Paul was finna win, and if it was a real fight, Jake Paul was gonna knock that nigga out in the first 2 rounds. Niggas was like, I'm like, bro, that's not Tyson that you know. Y'all acting like this is Tyson in his prime. The nigga's 60, yo. The nigga's 60 years old. I'm telling motherfuckers like, yo, y'all niggas out here acting like this nigga is Iron Mike Tyson. He's not the Tyson that we all know. He's not the Tyson of then, back then. He's not him today. You know what I mean? He's not that nigga today. He not Iron Mike today. You know, that's like saying Michael Jordan can beat Bronny James. We know Michael Jordan for who we know him as, but the nigga's 60. You know what I mean? Like, he's not fucking with these little young niggas, bro. Like, y'all niggas out here wilding. Jake Paul could have destroyed that nigga if he wanted to, but I think he took it easy on him out of respect. He could have beat the tattoo off that nigga face, but he didn't. You know, so everybody was really out here betting on Tyson and shit. I'm like, y'all niggas is wild. The nigga dragging his legs and shit. The nigga, he can barely stand. Nigga didn't throw no punches. He was getting punched. That motherfucker was a human punching bag. Shout out to Tyson. No disrespect. I get it. I respect that you got out there at age 60. But it was a money grab, yo. Like, that shit was a money grab. But, yeah, like, Jake Paul could have destroyed that nigga, but he chose not to. And I respect the decision because either way, he wouldn't have got respect for it. You know, he beat him. Niggas like, oh, he's 60. If he would have knocked him out, oh, he's 60. But if Tyson would have beat him, you got beat by a 60-year-old. Or if Tyson would have dropped him, you got your ass knocked out by a 60-year-old. So it was a lose-lose, you know. But the money is there. The money, that was a big money grab. They promoted the shit out of this shit. The fight of the night to me was the women's fight. That was a nice little fight. Katie Taylor went against Amanda Sereno. I think that's her name, Sereno. That shit was wicked because motherfucking Katie Taylor headbutted her. Bro, her shit was like fucking... Katie Taylor headbutted Sereno. Her shit was split. Like, that shit looked like you can fit a fucking quarter in her shit. Like, she had a pocket on her eye. That shit was busted open. It was bloody everywhere, blood dripping everywhere. And Katie kept hitting her, kept headbutting her. And the ref was fucking trash because he waited too late to start taking points from Katie. And but Serena kept fighting. She kept punching her. Matter of fact, in the first round before the cut happened, Serena dazed Katie Taylor. She was lost. She looked stunned when she got that hit. She was stunned, but after that headbutt and the blood started pouring out, like, it was wild. And referee waited till like damn near I think the last round and even tried to take a point from her, but she kept fighting though. I respect it. The crowd was hot. You know, everybody felt like Serena was robbed. Even me, I felt like she got robbed. I felt like she should have won. They started talking about Katie dirty and shit. She a dirty fighter. She was leading with her head. They started talking about her past fights and shit. But yeah, that was the fight of the night. I think Serena should have won. She was really out there boxing. At the end, Katie started throwing combos and shit. But I mean, it was a wrap. Judges gave it to Katie. Katie still remained the women's undisputed champion. But it is what it is. Like I said, I think Serena should have won. I think the world thought Serena should have won. But yeah, it was another fight. Mario, whatever, he fought Abel Ramos. That was a split draw in the 8th. I think in the first round, Ramos got dropped. Or first or second round, Ramos got dropped, and then in the 6th round, Ramos dropped him, and it was the judges it went the distance, and it was a split draw, and Barrios, I think that's his name, Mario, whatever, he was the WBC champion. Since nobody won, he walked out the champion, and this is the thing, and even for Katie Taylor versus Serena. When you fight in the champ for the belt, You gotta knock that motherfucker out. You can't leave the decisions in the judge's hand. Because if you going in there to take something from the champ, that means the champ got it already. And if you don't do enough, like beat the brakes off the champ, the judges is just like, oh, well, you didn't take it from him. You left it in our hands, so we're gonna go give it to the person that got the belt. You know what I mean? So when you're going for the title, you gotta knock that motherfucker out. You can't leave the decision in the judge's hand. And for those two fights, they didn't do enough. You know, there was another fight. Goyat, he went against Nunez. I think Nunez was like 2-2. I don't even know how the fuck he made it on the card. But Goyat, he was more skilled, clearly more skilled. Both of them niggas was built like they drink beer every day. But yeah, that shit was ass. Like I'm not even them first two fights. I should have left and went to go get something to eat. But that shit was ass. But yeah, I mean that was that Jake Paul night Netflix. Other than Netflix was fucking up. But shout out to Jake Paul for showing respect. He bowed down to him at the end of at the last seconds of the final round. Gave him his flowers. But yeah, that night was wicked. Like that night was wicked. But I want to thank y'all for tuning in to another episode. I'm still learning shit when it comes to this podcast and shit. Like, I got so many episodes, I just ain't been posting them because I'm learning as I'm going, and I'm fixing up the room and shit like that. But I'm learning as I'm going with the editing and the intro and all this other shit. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. We gonna get better. We gonna become great, and we doing this shit for y'all. We ain't doing it for nothing else. We just doing it for y'all. But shout out to y'all. I'm Jody Wins. Peace.